Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 23 with the Washington Nationals. Again, still recording from my basement, so if this still sounds different, that's why. I just don't have the energy to go up into my office and get set up there. So the video may sound a little different, but that's again because I'm using the microphone on my computer and just sitting in the basement. So it is September 1st. We are 20 games over 500, 78 and 58, and we're 2 games out of first place. So we had a good month. We were like 17 and 9 or something, 19 and 9 in August. But we remain 2 games behind the Atlanta Braves, who were 19 and 8. So the Braves are 36 and 17 in the last 2 months. We just cannot catch them. It's been a good month. We made a couple of waiver wire acquisitions, if you can believe it, in August, and both pitchers are on our big league roster. You can see Blake Snell was a waiver wire acquisition from the Mets. He made one start with the Mets, pitched 8 shutout innings. They tried to send him to the minors, so we claimed him. And in 5 starts with us, he's put up a 104 ERA plus. He's 1-2, extreme ground ball guy. You know what you're getting out of Blake Snell. Veteran, 4 good pitches. Contract obviously up at the end of the season, so we have a team option, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see if we pick that up, but we get him for the end of the regular season. And then Joey Estes. Had put up a 7-5 mark with a 3.01 ERA, 1.5 WAR, 138 ERA plus with the A's. The A's tried to send him down to the minors, so we pounced. And he was a popular player, so we got a fan interest bump for picking him up. And in 4 games, 5 2/3 shutout baseball for us. So a couple of big acquisitions, and that caused us to have to send a couple of our main pitchers down to the minors. We've since called them back up. Although you look, we've got Contreras, Nebe, both in the minor leagues. We just called back up Figueroa and Veras. They were the only 2 that had options, so I wanted to get them back up. Cade Cavalli and Chase Shores are both in the bullpen now. At least for the rest of the season. Cavalli as a reliever so far, really, really good. 1 earned run in 14 1/3 innings. Figueroa was really good. I mean, there's I didn't want to send him down. He was really good, but he had options, so we sent him down. So we're going to make him a long reliever, middle reliever, and Veras hasn't been particularly good this year, but the ratings suggest that he should be fine, so we'll make him middle relief setup, I guess. Yeah, I mean, our bullpen's been awesome. Battenfield hasn't been great since coming over, 2-3 with a 4.5 ERA. Last couple of starts, though, no earned runs in his last 10. You can see 5 straight starts, 5 innings. He hasn't given up more than 3 runs. So he's settling into that role with us. I don't know if we're going to keep him long term. That ARB number scares me a little bit, 8.9. So we'll see, especially given that he's 31 and we have other options. But for this season, he's our number 5. We'll get into the full list of season stats at the end of the year. But you can see Corbin Burns on pace for another great season, over 4 wins. Offensively, Drew Romo is absolutely destroying the baseball. Well, I guess not absolutely destroying. An 815 OPS, 275 batting average, 13 home runs. He's on pace for, he's already a 5-win player, so on pace for probably 6 WAR this year, roughly. Luis Robert has picked it up as well after a couple of really difficult months of May and June. Stepped it back up a little bit in August, in July, but was on fire in August. 5 home runs, 17 RBIs, put up almost 2 WAR in the month of August, all by itself. Royce Lewis, look at all these guys at 2 WAR or higher. Romo, Robert, Lewis, Cruz, Lee, Mullinax, Hassel. Michael Mullinax has really turned the corner. You can see that average up to 283, a 773 OPS. Finally figuring it out these last 2 months. He has been a monster at the dish. Not a lot of power, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, but a 320 batting average, 900 OPS. He's been great. Hassel settling in. He's never going to be a huge home run guy, but you can see he's on pace for about 45 extra base hits, playing really good defense. Nick Ahmed not really hitting, since we picked him up at the trade deadline, but we don't need him to hit. We need him to field. And he's doing that right now while we wait for C.J. Abrams to come back in a week or two. We do have an issue at catcher. You can see that Jose Trevino is still out for 8 weeks, and the guy we called up to replace him, Will Banfield, is now injury pending, and we don't really have another option. So we may want to take a look at the waiver wire. Okay, there are no catchers there. So let's take a look at free agency and see what we have for catchers available. Not much. Oof. Not much at all. So if we look at defensive ratings, oof, wow. Do we have any former major leaguers here? I mean, I want to see what the issue is. So Victor Diaz played with my Chicago Dogs last year. Yeah, I want to see what the injury issue is with Banfield, but we really don't have any options here. Sam Hunt is probably the next guy to come up. I mean, he's probably the solution as a backup, and we just have to hope that Banfield's not down for too long because we don't have a whole lot of other options right now in the minor leagues, at least that are ready to come up. Like Dan Eisenshank will be ready hopefully within a couple of years, but nothing right now. So we're going to sim ahead and hope that the news is good on Banfield. We're taking on Atlanta here. We have 5 games left against the Braves, so here's an opportunity at home for us to make some headway on Atlanta right out of the gate here in September. And we lose 10-3. So we're now 3 games out. There we go. We pick up a 5-4 victory. Still no word on Banfield, I don't think. Robert, a couple of hits. Ahmed, he's playing, so that's a good sign. Okay, just a knee contusion. So all that hemming and hawing for nothing. Ahmed, a couple of hits. Banfield with his first home run. Kerr picks up the victory. So 2 games. If we can take 2 out of 3, move within a game, consider it a decent series. And we do, so we're a game behind Atlanta now. Ahmed, 3 more RBIs. He has 6 RBIs, or 5 RBIs in his last 2 games. Dylan Cruz picks up an RBI. Snell goes 4. Brule picks up the win. Munoz's 34th save. So we got a doubleheader today against the Astros, followed by 3 at home against Austin. We win. Oh, man, we destroy Houston in both ends of the doubleheader. That's nice to see. So in game 1, Lee 2 for 5, Robert 2 for 5, Mullinax 3 for 5, Fletcher 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. Battenfield goes 4 2/3 shutout. Estes goes an inning and 2/3 shutout. Figueroa struggles, but by that point it doesn't matter. Lee, Mullinax, Robert, all homer. This I love to see. These midseason acquisitions coming in and getting it done. And then in the second game, Lee 3 for 4, 3 RBIs. Robert 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. Cruz 3 for 3, a couple of runs knocked in. Mojica, Cruz, Lee, Robert, all homer. Corbin Burns can't pick up the victory. Can't go deep enough into the game. Only goes 4 1/3. Figueroa gets the win. Veras and Cavalli pitch in relief. Well, that's a good day for us. We got the Austin Parrots now, the former Miami Marlins. They're 52-88, 3 games at home. So looking for the sweep. We get the first game 4-0. Royce Lewis 2 for 4. Romo 2 for 4. Armstrong 2 for 4. Home runs from Ahmed and Lewis. Chase Shores only goes an inning and a third in a bullpen game. Joey Estes picks up the win. He still hasn't given up a run in 9 2/3 innings. Cavalli has been, again, great out of the bullpen. We get the win. All right, let's keep on moving. Are we in first place? No, we're still a half game out. Game 2 against Austin. 10-8 win, still a half game out of first place. Crane, 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. Crow Armstrong, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. 2 knocked in for Romo. Baz only goes 2. Diagnosis pending. Crap. That's not good. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury. I mean, we have the pitching depth to withstand it, but I just don't want Baz out for that amount of time. So the final game of the series against Austin as we look for the sweep and our seventh straight win, and we get it. Cruz 2 for 4, hits a home run. Manning goes 4 1/3. Again, starting pitching not going deep into games, but our bullpen has been so good that it really doesn't matter. So still no word on Shane Baz. That's discouraging. All right, so we got the 3 games in Philadelphia, followed by a few games at home against Milwaukee. So 2 bad teams. So Milwaukee 63-80, Philadelphia 66-77. So 6 games here, hoping for 4-2 with 3 on the road, 3 at home. Game 1 in Philly, it's a 4-3 loss. Game 2, it's a 5-1 win. So a game and a half out. Atlanta's just not losing. Dylan Cruz with a home run, Robert with a home run, Royce Lewis a couple of hits, Corbin Burns, there we go, 7 1/3, 1-run ball. Okay, so it looks like Baz is fine. Yep, that's good. Atlanta is just not losing baseball games. If we look at the standings, 6 in a row. We were 8-2 in our last 10, and we've picked up a game on Atlanta. So they are a good team. We got 2 coming up here on the road. Take the series in Philadelphia. You don't want to lose 2 out of 3 against a team that's under 500 at this point in the season, and we do. All right, CJ Abrams is ready to come back. I think I can't send Mojica down. No, I can. I can send Mojica down. Abrams comes up. Abrams goes back into the lineup at shortstop. We move Ahmed over to third. Move everybody down 1. Do that. Yep. And then same thing here. Put him in at short. Move Ahmed to third. Reverse these 2 guys. And run like that. So we lose 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia. That's not good. We need to rebound here with these 3 games against Milwaukee. So now we're at home for 6 against Milwaukee and Philadelphia. I'm really hoping for like a 5-1 homestand. All right, so Jose Trevino is making progress. See, this is a bug in the game. It says he should be available immediately at full strength, that he's still out for 4 weeks. So we win 6-4. We get 3 RBIs from Ahmed. 2 hits from Jung-Hoo Lee. Baz goes 6 in his return. Game 2 against Milwaukee. 9-5 win. Robert 3 for 5, 2 knocked in. Crane goes 3 for 4. That power's starting to come along for him. He's up to 22 home runs on the season, giving us some pop that we wouldn't have otherwise had. Pete Crow Armstrong, a couple of hits. He's been really good. Manning goes 6, picks up the win. Final game of the series against Milwaukee. 9-7 win, and we're in first place. So it looks like Atlanta has lost a couple games in a row. Jung-Hoo Lee, 2 hits. Robert, 3 for 5, 2 RBIs. So he continues to hit the ball really well the second half of the season. 2 hits for Cruz, 2 hits for Mullinax, 2 hits for Romo. Offense cruising. Snell goes 6, gives up 3. Pitches well. Bellin does not, but then Cavalli, Brule, and Munoz come in and do their job. 3 games against Philadelphia, followed by an important 2-game series in Atlanta. So game 1 against the Phillies. 9-3 victory. I am recording. Just wanted to make sure. You'll like to see the big win. Drew Romo hits his 14th home run with us. Hassel with 3 hits. Cruz knocks in a couple. Corbin Burns, 15-8 now on the year. Pick up our 90th victory of the season. Game 2 against the Phillies. An 8-2 loss in the final game of this homestand against Philadelphia. An 8-5 loss. So if we don't win the division, we can look back at our matchups against the sub 500 Phillies as a reason why. We went 2-4 against the Phillies in the month of September, and we are 10-1 against everybody else. So 2-4 against the Phillies, 10-1 against everyone else. Now here's that huge 2-game set on the road in Atlanta, taking on the Braves. We're a game behind Atlanta for the National League division lead, and this is huge because if you win the division here, right now we're in the battle for one of the best records in the National League. So if you can avoid that wild card round, that's huge. But we need to finish strong here. So game 1 in Atlanta. We're either in first place or a game and a half out when this game ends. We are in first place with a 5-0 victory. Michael Mullinax, 4 for 5, hits 3 home runs, and we win this game easily 5-0. The kid's starting to figure it out. You love to see it. Blake Snell goes 4 2/3. Veras, Brule, Bellin, and Munoz combined for 4 1/3 of one-hit baseball. And we look to move further into first place if we can win here against Luis Castillo. Nope. So we're half a game out. So we have 7 games left, 4 at Cincinnati, 3 at home against the Mets. Cincinnati 70, so 2 teams that are under 500. Cincinnati 71-84, Mets are 77-79. The Braves have who? The Braves have the Mets and the Phillies. We have the Reds and the Mets. So they're also playing teams that are under 500. They get 3 against the Mets, 3 against the Phillies. We have 4 against the Reds and 3 against the Mets. So each team, we're each playing teams that are not good. So let's see. We're taking on old friend Julio Urias, who is just imploded. 3-10, 7.32 ERA. Let's see how game 1 goes on the road in Cincinnati. We need some victories here down the stretch. A 5-0 win. Robert Hassel with his 10th home run of the season. Mullinax, 38 doubles. Shane Baz, 13-13 on the season with 5 shutout innings. We are tied for first place with 6 games left. They have 3 against the Mets, followed by 3 against the Phillies. We've got these 3 against the Reds, and we finish up against the Mets. So game 2 against Cincinnati. 3-0 loss. We're a game out of first place. Game 3 against the Reds now. 2-0 win, so we're back into a first place tie. We get RBIs from Lewis and Romo. Battenfield, 4 shutout innings. Figueroa, I like to see that. I don't care if my starters are only going 4 innings. But you give me 4 shutout innings, I will take it. All right, final game of the series against Cincinnati. Can we take 3 out of 4 on the road? We win 8-0, so back-to-back shutouts. 2 RBIs for Lewis, Cruz, Robert 2 hits, Fletcher 2 hits, Mullinax 2 hits, Cruz and Robert homer. Snell goes 5 2/3 shutout. He's been a sneaky pickup for us so far this second half. I don't even know if he's going to be eligible. He should be eligible for the playoff roster, I think, because we picked him up in August. All right. So we're a game up on Atlanta. The Braves have got their final 3 games of the season are at home against the Phillies, the 72-87 Phillies. We have 3 games at home against the 79-80 Mets. So win and we win the division. If we take 2 out of 3, the Braves need to sweep the Phillies. If we take 1 out of 2, the Braves need to take 2 out of 3, I think. It all depends on, I guess if we end tied, we'll play a 163. So all we need to do is win. And again, the Phillies have been the team that have given us problems this month. We were 2-4 against them going into this series. So let's see how this 3-game series at home goes. So we lose C.J. Abrams for the year. Damn it. That's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. All right. So Mojica comes back in at third. Ahmed goes back to short. And we move these guys around. Third base. Shortstop. Against lefties will bat. Do we leave Mojica there? I mean, he's got the ratings. I think let's try leaving Mojica there. All right, so we win 6-3. 3 hits from Cruz, 3 RBIs. Robert, 2 for 3. Burns picks up his 16th victory of the year. So we are still 1 game up. We got 2 games remaining at home against the Mets. That's an 11-2 victory. And Dylan Cruz, see, this is dumb. And the thing that I hate about this is he's going to be suspended for the first couple games of the playoffs, which sucks. It's also not realistic because it should just be regular season games. So what I might do, honestly, is I might go in fact, let me look at something. Do MLB suspensions include playoff games? Oh, now, okay. Now ineligible for the playoffs. All right. Well, okay. Well, I guess he's going to miss the playoff games. Mullinax 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. Cruz hits his 40th home run. Hassel drives in 4. Shane Baz improves to 14-13. We still need to win. We still need to win this last game because Atlanta has won their first 2 games against Philadelphia. So we lose Cruz for the year. Or we lose Abrams for the year, and then we lose Cruz for the last 4 games of the season. All right, so I guess let's just put him on the restricted list. Does it even matter? I don't think it even really matters. We're just going to stick Crow Armstrong in for him. Or are we? No, we're not, because he's the DH. We're going to put Fletcher in at DH. He's not going to bat cleanup, but he's going to... I think we bat him third against lefties, honestly. And then here we can kind of move everybody down some. All right. All right, so he's going to miss the first 3 games of the playoffs. All right, so we need to win this game. If we win this game, we win the division. If Atlanta loses, we win the division. If we lose and Atlanta wins, we're tied. And then I think we have to play a 163. So let's just hope that we win. We do. We win the division. Is that our first division crown? I think that's our first division crown, isn't it? Yeah. First division crown, 3rd straight season we've made the playoffs. We win the final game of the year 7-3. Mullinax has 2 hits. Crane, 2 hits. Lewis and Crane each homer. Manning goes 5, finishes the season 10-8, and we win our division 97-65. We end up with the tied for the best record in the National League, tied for the best record in baseball with the St. Louis Cardinals. So things have finally turned around for the Nats. Of course, we're without C.J. Abrams for the postseason. We're without Dylan Cruz for the first 3 games of the playoffs. But offensively, Drew Romo, 5.5 WAR overall. He was really good after coming over. Offense not quite as good, but you expected that given that he was hitting in cores. But I'll take 3.4 WAR in half a season out of my starting catcher any day of the week. Luis Robert's first season with us ended up as a huge success. I was a little concerned at the start of July, but he turned it on and was very good defensively as well as offensively. Royce Lewis just continues to pump out WAR for us. So 3 full seasons with us, 3.9, 5.3, 3.6, a career high in home runs. he's been great. Dylan Cruz, 40 home runs. He bounced back nicely after a difficult year last year, giving us that power. Michael Mullinax finally has it figured out. Took him 2 seasons, but he should be a top of the order bat for us for the next handful of years. Jung Hoo Lee was terrific for us for 2 years. We're likely to move on from him because his contract demands are pretty high, and we have Davis Crane ready to kind of fill that role. Robert Hassel had a good year, 2.3 WAR, drove in 80 runs. I'll take it. Slightly below average with the bat, but he was very, very good defensively out in left field. Pete Crow Armstrong gave us exactly what we wanted, which was stellar defense, and actually wasn't particularly good in left, but center and right he was really good. Bat was surprisingly above average. Nick Ahmed, average was low, but drove in 23 runs in 54 games, played fine defense, which is all we want him for. Davis Crane, 14 home runs, hit 240. I mean, if he can come back next year and hit 250 and be that first baseman for us, kind of middle of the order, middle of the lineup power bat, great. David Fletcher was terrific after we called him up from AAA. Mojica struggled a bit in his first year, but I'm still confident in those ratings, especially if that eye of discipline develops over the course of the next 6 months. He still put up, slightly below average offense, so it is what it is. And then pitching, Corbin Burns, 16-8 on the year, 200 innings pitched, 221 Ks. Peyton Battenfield settled down and only went 2-4, but just couldn't pitch long into games. But you look at this, I mean, he had 4 starts here where he didn't give up an earned run. So all in all, no complaints there. Cavalli out of the bullpen was dynamic. Ended up 3-9 with a 4.37, but if you look at his splits, 25 innings, 32 strikeouts, a 1.78 ERA plus as a reliever was fantastic. Carlos Bellin had a really good year. Shane Baz's first year with us was okay. I mean, 2.1 WAR, 98 ERA plus. Like, he could be better, but 14 wins, made every start, led the National League in starts, struck out more than a batter in an inning. I'll take it. Andres Munoz was really good, only got 39 hits, 41 saves. Joey Estes, after coming over from Oakland, didn't give up an earned run in 18 innings of work. He was elite, and that's the only way to look at it. Chase Shores had a good year. The 24-year-old, he'll eventually be a starter, but out of the bullpen for now, looking pretty good. Matt Manning, I'll take it. I mean, he's signed to a reasonable contract that gets cheaper here over the next couple of years. It's probably movable if we need it to be, but I don't mind having Manning in there as our 4th or 5th starter, especially his popularity has dropped too. So we may be able to move him. He used to be a ground ball pitcher who was extremely popular. He's now just fair popular, and his ground ball fly ball tendency has neutralized here a little bit. So we may move him, but again, those ratings are pretty good given what we're paying him. Justin Brule was really good. Frander Veras was fine. Blake Snell, after coming over from the Mets, was terrific. Gave us about 5 innings a start, a strikeout per inning, a 1.41 ERA plus. He was great. And then Pedro Figueroa, the kid, picked him up on the Rule 5. Last year was okay. Probably not on the playoff roster this season. So, speaking of playoff rosters, we need to set our playoff roster. So, who is on the playoff roster that we don't want on the playoff roster? Well, we need Garrett Hill on there, and I think Figueroa comes off, Hill comes on. Who else comes off? We need another pitcher to come off. Veras comes off and Kerr comes on because those 2 guys have been really good. All right, so we get the first round of the playoffs off, so we don't even really have to deal with our bullpen right now. So we can just go ahead and sim to the next playoff round, where we'll be taking on the Cubs or the Padres. Let the game sim here. Cubs up 1-0. 1-1 now. All right, so we're taking on the Padres. All right, the San Diego Padres, a team that we faced in the playoffs. Was it last year? They went 94-68. They won the National League West. team that we have been intimately involved with as we've made a lot of trades with them. Juan Soto, 155 OPS, 3.8 WAR, 116 games. Still playing pretty well. 26 home runs, 68 RBIs. His contract is up after this season, so we'll see what the Padres do with him. Heston Kjerstad hit 25 home runs, put up a 703 OPS. Was okay in the field. So all in all, I think both teams are probably happy with the trade. Soto's been hurt, but put up 3.8 WAR. We got CJ Abrams who was hurt, but he put up 3 WAR or something. And then the outfield, Kjerstad and Hassel have put up similar stats. So we're getting similar production for less, which is, always a good thing. Morejon, Gonzalez, Covey, and Gorse. They have the best pitching staff in terms of starters ERA. They're 5th in runs scored. So it's going to be a good series. So we have to set our rotation. So who comes out? I think Battenfield is the obvious choice. And we'll run Burns, Baz, Manning, and Snell. Everybody will come in an inning earlier. Hill will be long relief. Battenfield will be long relief. We got Brule and Cavalli as our middle relievers. Our lineups are set. We get Cruz back in 3 games, so he probably misses most of this series. So hopefully we can hold on until he comes back. But at least our rotation is set, right? Because we didn't have to play in that wild card round, we have Corbin Burns going in game 1. So keep our fingers crossed and hope that's enough. All right, let's get to it. So it's going to be Morejon against Burns in game 1. Mackenzie Gore is going to get the start. So fingers crossed, game 1 goes to the Padres. They smoke us 10-3. Not good. Burns doesn't make it out of 4. Given how good he's been this year, that's shocking. All right, we lose game 1. Got Morejon against Baz in game 2. So we're going to need to win a game in San Diego now to win this series. Game 2 also goes to the Padres. Not good, guys. Not a good start. Baz gets knocked out in the first. These games haven't even been close. So I think if we can make it through 3, if we can make it through this game, at least we get Cruz back. Right? Cruz is out for another game, I think. Yep. Well, this is incredibly disappointing so far. Game 3, Matt Manning, Dylan Covey, and we get swept. That's frustrating. That is frustrating, guys. I thought this was the year we were going to break through. Thought we had enough offense. I thought we had enough pitching. And it turns out we don't have enough of either as we get absolutely steamrolled by the Nationals or by the Padres in 3 games. They outscore us 23-11 in the 3 games. Our starters get knocked around. Burns doesn't make it through 4. Baz doesn't make it out of 1. Manning went 4 1/3. Gave up 3 earned runs. Yeah, just not good. Not good. This is the first time I've been disappointed with how the playoffs ended. The last 2 years, I was just happy to make it. This year, I am disappointed in how it turns out. So it's going to be the Padres and the Dodgers, barf, in the National League. Oh, good. Trevino's eligible to come off the deal. That's important. The Guardians are up 3. The Guardians advance. The Rangers and Red Sox are tied at 2. So it's the Guardians, the Rangers, the Dodgers, and the Padres. Guardians up 2-0. Padres up 1-0. So yeah, it's a little frustrating. I was the way we played in the final 2 months of the season, I was really excited about the way things were going, but wasn't meant to be this year. So maybe we're still a year away. I mean, we won 97 regular season games, so I don't know. Maybe we need to. I don't know what we need to add. I don't even know how much money we're going to have to add. So we'll just sort of have to wait and see what the offseason holds. I hope that a division title and 3 straight playoff appearances leads to um, a budget increase or a fan interest increase, which gives us more money. We'll just sort of have to see. So the Guardians and the Padres are really cruising. They're 9-2 in 11 postseason games. So we'll make it 9-3. At least if the Padres win it all, we can say, we lost to the championship. We lost to the champions. But on the flip side, the Padres have now won 2 World Series since we made that big deal with them, and we've won none. Or potentially have won 2 World Series titles since we made that deal, and none if they win this one. So I think from a trade value perspective, the trade was fair, but the Padres are obviously getting more out of it here since they've already won 1 World Series. They're tied at 2 here. Jung-Hoo Lee, look at that, led the National League in hitting, a .312 batting average. Padres 1 win away. Guardians tie it at 3. Go to a Game 7. Who's going to take Game 7? The Cleveland Guardians are your 2028 World Series champions. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to spend a little more time micromanaging the team in the postseason. I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer, but I mean, I don't know what I could have done that would have kept Shane Baz from getting knocked out in the first inning. Like, I don't know what I could have done to improve any of that. So let's see what we got. So Blake Snell option year. He was good, but I want to hold off. I want to see what other kind of money we have. New budget, $180 million. So that leaves us with nothing because our budget right now is set for $185. I think we have to decline the option on Snell, honestly. As much as I would like to bring him back, we need the money, and I think we're also going to move Bottenfield. $400 buyout. A staff member retires our bench coach. All right, so we got to find a bench coach. So let's do that real quick. Reports, available personnel. Bench coach. Ramon Santiago. I like that. All right. So salary arbitration. We got Fletcher, Lee, and Trevino all as free agents. So Jung-Hoo Lee wants $12 million. I can't afford that. Battenfield, 31 years old, wants almost $8 million. Let's shop him around. See if we can find a pitcher that is similar to him. Maybe, again, 80-90% of what we're going to get out of him. Is he a fly ball pitcher? He's neutral. All right. And his ratings have already started to drop. So, yeah, moving on from him right now is the right idea for sure. I don't mind, where was it, Norge Vera, 28-year-old. He's a fly ball pitcher. Pitched really well in AAA last season. It's not a bad option. Tyler Freeman, an ARB guy. McGreevy and Mills. Daniel Susak. It might be in our best interest to bring in, what's his ARB number? 1.8. We could use another catcher because we're about to lose Trevino, and I don't know that Banfield is the answer with that bat. So maybe Susak is not a bad option here. He didn't hit all that well, but maybe I can get more as well. Just looking at the other players that they're offering up. I mean, there's some decent names here. Blake Hunt, very good defensively. Drew Compton, Ryan. Yeah, I don't want to pick up somebody who's making $3 or $4 million. That doesn't really help my. I mean, it would help me a little bit. I like the idea of Susak, actually. So we're going to go ahead and do that. See if we can get anything added to this. Okay. Yeah, trade Kim. We pick up Errol Vera, 26-year-old switch hitter. Doesn't look like he's going to hit for a lot of power, but and he's not a third. I mean, it looks like high work ethic. Hit really, really well in AAA. Again, if that eye and discipline develops, we pick up Daniel Susak to replace Jose Trevino. Let's complete that deal. So that'll help the monetary situation a little bit. Joey Estes, we certainly want to bring him back. He wants a long-term deal. You take that. Like if we make this 425, oops. Make this like 25. Oh, I have to drop this to. Okay. 1 million, 2.5, 4.2. Sure. Carlos Bellin at 2.6, 2.45. 2.5. All right. Justin Brule at 1.7. Cade Cavalli at 1. He's 30 years old already. Wow. How the time flies, guys. Garrett Hill wants 1.4. He's earned every penny of that. All right, so now we're into some of the bigger ones. Kerr wants 2.6. And I think he's still worth it, honestly. I mean, 2.5 is not a lot of money, not for a team like us. I feel like we should be able to afford that without any trouble. Veras wants 1.4. He wasn't particularly good, but I think again at like 1.325, that's a more than reasonable. Or even at 1.35, that's a very reasonable contract. Daniel Susak at 1.8, 1.725. All right, now we're getting into some of the more expensive ones. So we got Munoz, Cruz, and Crow Armstrong. Cruz obviously needs to come back. He's 26. He wants what? 7.8? What is his? If we look at salaries, where's Dylan Cruz? So we only got 2 years left, so 7.8 and 13.2. So let's see if we can try to buy out a year or two of arbitration. So 7, 8, and 13.2. So let's go 4 years. Let's go 7, 10. That's not 10. That's 10. 13 and 15. He only wants the 1 year deal. Okay. So if he only wants the 1 year deal, then we're going to offer him what, like 7.3? 7.2? 7.3? 7.4? All right, $7,450,000. We say about $320K there. Precro Armstrong, we definitely want to bring back. $4 million there. And then what do we do with Andre Munoz? He's been really good for us over 2 seasons. If there's value that we can bring back that's close, I think we make a deal. Otherwise, I think we just re-sign him. Yeah, I think we just re-sign him. Fan interest is at an 81. We should be able to bump ticket prices again because we're going to get fan interest bumps from some of these signings. So I think, all right, he wants 5, so 4750. I guess 48. All right. All right. And we aren't going to be able to bring any of these guys back, at least initially. Ahmed and Snell, no, and we need to go into the player list, upcoming free agent, and offer all of our minor league free agents contracts. Let's go ahead and sim ahead. Yeah, these are all the players that aren't going to want to come back to us, like Efrain Contreras. That's too bad. What does he want for a contract? He probably doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Yeah, that's fine. So we didn't get much out of that secondary deal that we made with San Diego where we picked up the 2 bullpen arms, but that's okay. We're loaded in the bullpen, so I'm not too terribly concerned about losing bullpen. Oh, Errol Vera, I got to put him on the 40-man. Shoot. I didn't even think about that. Oops. Okay. Poisson and well, I guess Trevino can both be DFA'd. So Susac and Vera go on the 40-man. All right, now that should give us Vera's contract because I don't want to lose him. Yeah, there we go. All right. Anybody we can DFA while I'm looking at this really quickly? Because that'll save us a little bit of money, but I don't think we need to worry about it right now. Dan McDaniel's got to be ready next year. He's got to come up. So we're going to figure out what to do with him. All right, let's just keep going. I want to get up at least to the start of free agency. I'm going to have to pause here in a minute. Continue the video down the road. So Spinal doesn't want to re-sign. That's fine. He was in Double-A all year for us. So I don't really know what we need. I mean, I think offensively we look like we're in pretty good shape. Pitching staff looks fine. So Munoz signs his deal. Fans like Dylan Cruz re-signing. We don't get any fan interest bumps from anybody else. That's interesting. But at least we got a bump there, so that puts us up to an 84 now. Thought we'd get fan interest bumps from at least some of those guys. And I don't think we're losing anybody that's incredibly popular, so we should be okay in terms of free agents signing elsewhere. So most of these guys have signed contracts with us. Most of the minor leaguers have signed contracts with us, that is. Well, if he's already on the 40-man, then do what you got to do. All right, sim ahead. I think tomorrow is Gold Gloves. American League, you can see it there. National League, Drew Romo wins the Gold Glove in the NL. Reliever of the year, Francisco Perez in the AL. In the NL, it's Blake Workman. Andre Munoz finishes second. Yeah, smart move bringing him back. Still a reasonable contract, and it's one that's tradable if we need to. Giovanni Moran, the former National, turned Chicago Cub, had a good season. Both of these guys got to be released. Players are disappointed to see Jose Trevino leave. That's fine. More than enough captains to make up for it. Platinum Stick winners, you can see the names there. In the National League, there's Drew Romo, Luis Robert. Yeah, Robert's first season was really good. I don't anticipate that he's going to be able to do that year over year, but that's a really good contract off the bat. Rookie of the Year in the AL, Juan Villalobos. In the National League, it's Freddie Peralta. Fabio Peralta, excuse me, 22-year-old center fielder. Looks pretty okay. Manager of the year. Todd Black and Mark Pryor yet again. Cy Young. In the AL, Carlos Vargas of the Indians, and in the National League, Ryan Vanderhey of the Brewers. Wow. 15th round pick. You love to see it. Corbin Burns finishes third. Rating starting to drop a bit on Corbin. That's concerning, but we'll get through it. Manuel Mejias of the Guardians wins the most valuable player, a catcher, with 70 power. Look at that, 6.5 WAR out of a catcher. And Acuna wins it in the National League, the now 30-year-old Ronald Acuna. Dylan Cruz finishes like 12th for us, thereabouts. So we'll sim ahead. Maybe solidifying third base. I think our starting pitching is fine. I think our bullpen is fine. So solidifying that third base position could be an issue. Somebody to back up C.J. Abrams when he inevitably gets hurt. But I think we're set in the outfield. Get to arbitration and free agency and see if we have any money. I don't think we're going to have much. We may have a couple $1,000,000, but nothing of real note. All right, let's go. We don't have any arbitration cases still outstanding, so nothing there for us. Let's get to free agency, and we're clear of the Luis Urias contract now. So international free agents. Any young studs? Nothing yet. Well, he already signed with Cleveland because that's how this game works. Some big names there. Juan Soto is now a free agent. Do we have any money at all? We have $2.1 million. And what do we need? So if we look at our pitching staff, we go to our 5-man rotation. Cavalli comes back into the rotation, and then, I don't know, maybe Estes becomes that 5th starter. Chase Shores with that 40 stamina. Maybe we leave him in the bullpen. Burns, Baz, Manning, Cavalli, Estes, and then do we have anybody kind of on their way up from a pitching perspective? And we still got Neebe. Got McDaniel. I want to get those guys on there. They're already on the 40-man, so there's no harm in doing that. And then we have some depth. We have Miller Green. We got a couple depth pieces as well. Jax Bishop making his way up. Yeah. All right. And then lineup-wise, just kind of see what we're dealing with here. So Romo at catcher. Right now, our first baseman is Davis Crane. Our second baseman is still Royce Lewis. Our shortstop is C.J. Abrams. Put up 3.5 WAR in his limited time. Right now, our third baseman is either Mojica or Vera. Vera's not very good. Mojica's got the bat but doesn't have the glove, so we'll put Mojica in at third. Left field is Hassel. Right field is Mullinax. Center field is Robert. And I think our DH against righties next season is McDaniel. So we don't, maybe a third baseman if we can find, is he willing to, he's not willing to waive his no trade clause. I was thinking maybe if he could waive his, no, we got Cruz as our DH. I forgot about that. So yeah, we don't need much, really. McDaniel's a decent outfielder too, so I don't want to play him at like first base. That limits what he can do, but I think we definitely need to get McDaniel's bat into that lineup somehow. So that's something we will take a look at. See, I don't think we need much. I think this is just a year of development. I would love to be able to take a run at, Byron Buxton or even Shohei Ohtani, but, you know, I mean, to be fair, Ohtani would be nice. Picking up Ohtani would be really nice. Again, I don't know where we would play him, though. That's the problem. Um, yeah, so I don't think there's a whole lot we're going to be doing here this offseason unless. How do we all of a sudden have 940,000? Oh, because we called up, what's his name? We called up, um, those McDaniel and those two pitchers. So let's just quickly look at this and see if there's anybody that we can just DFA really quickly. Spencer Jones, I think we can DFA. Other than that, I don't know that there's anybody I want to DFA. Yeah, I mean, we really, excuse me, we kind of need the rest of these players. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, unless we can make a deal, and I mean, because we got to re sign Abrams, and he wants $24 million. So, I don't know where that money's going to come from. We may have to try moving maybe Munoz and Manning, try to clears $13 million, and that would allow us to sign Abrams. I would love to keep Crow Armstrong, but I don't know that Robert and Armstrong is something that we can afford to do. So there may be a couple of moves we make here during the offseason. We will take a look. But guys, I got to take a quick break, so I will be back right after this. All right, guys, we're back. It's the next day, and I'm up in my office because that's how I do things, right? So I have a trade set up, and I think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna do it. Show you the deal here before I actually make it. So, giving up a lot here, but nothing that isn't replaceable. So, Matt Manning. Talked a little bit about him already. His popularity went from very popular to insignificant. He's no longer a ground ball pitcher. He is still a captain with all the really nice personality traits and whatnot. His contract isn't terrible. It's 3 years, $26 million. But, I mean, that's $9 million that I could use to bring back C.J. Abrams. Will Matusak, who's a 7th-round pick back in 2023, good defensively, but he's never going to hit enough. Alexander Mojica, who is the third baseman we picked up in a trade in Atlanta with last season. I mean, the bat is probably going to be fine, at some point. Just wasn't for us this past season. Carlos Belen, one of our extreme ground ball pitchers, giving him up only because his contract is up this season and he wants, I think, $9 million. Yeah, 3 years, $9 million. That's not going to happen. And then Jay Murdoch, our first-round pick, number 2 overall back in 2025, did not work out. This was a unfortunate draft pick, but we have other options at first base. And in exchange, we pick up the reigning American League Rookie of the Year. Now, I say that, he's 35 years old. So, he's a fan favorite. He's extremely popular. He had 29 home runs a year ago. He plays I guess slightly below average third base, although with his ratings, that should be better. Just the turn DP is low, but range, error, arm are all passable for third base. He gives us some additional pop in the lineup, left-handed pop, to go maybe behind Dylan Cruz in the lineup. And it gives us a legit starting third baseman for the league minimum. If only for a year or two, given that he's 35 years old. It's a lot to give up for a 35-year-old, but I think it's the right move. Manning, we can ultimately. So obviously Mojica would be replaced by Villalobos. Murdoch, Matusak they're not going to make the team next year anyway. So it comes down to how do we replace Belen and Manning on our pitching staff. So if Manning's out, our number 5 starter is either Nebe or Shores. Realistically, I think We'll probably try Neebe first because the ratings are better, and I like the idea of the ground ball pitcher as a middle reliever, use more often guy. Kind of get some more value out of him. And if Bellin's gone, I mean, we have plenty of bullpen arms. We have 14. Well, maybe not plenty. We have 14 pitchers on our big league roster right now. We'll be down to 12 after trading those two. We got some younger guys. Maybe not younger guys, but we've got some older players in the minor leagues that we can potentially call up. We would have to fill a hole. We got Owen Woodward, who's working his way up. We would maybe need to pick up another bullpen arm, but I don't want that to limit us. So, and then in the lineup, obviously, like I said, we slot in Villalobos probably in that number 5 spot, right behind Dylan Cruz, who will hit fourth against righties. So I think we make the deal. It's a lot to give up, but to pick up the reigning Rookie of the Year with a power bat, we're gonna do it. More than a few capable veterans. Fan interest increases noticeably, so we're up to an 87 now, with Villalobos now on the roster. So yeah, we're 12 pitchers. So we probably do need to add a pitcher on a short-term deal, maybe a 1-year deal. Or we can just work from our minor league, from our minor leagues and see what we can do with what we have. And there's always the Rule 5, right? There's always the Rule 5. And we can start to trade some of the depth we have in the minors. I'm just clicking around looking at people. Like, I need Barclay to work out. I need him as our starting second baseman. I need him ready when Royce Lewis's contract expires, because we're not going to be able to bring him back. It's unlikely. So maybe we move someone like Isaac Pacheco. Can we move Pacheco and pick up a reliever? Some reliever depth? Let's see what sorts of... Yeah, I mean, we could. So see if there's a ground ball pitcher out there somewhere that some of these guys aren't terrible. None of them are great, but we're not going to get a great reliever. And I'm not really, if I can find a great reliever, that would be awesome. But realistically, I'm just looking for, someone like Ethan Wood, 26 years old, extreme ground ball, really fits that mold that we like. Could be a starter if we needed him to be. Right now, I'm leaning Ethan Wood. Unless there's a better option, Jake Eater. And he's really good, but I don't want to pay the $3 million. That's part of the point of why we made that deal previously, was to clear out some money. Logan Henderson, no. Yeah, I mean, Eater's the best of the bunch. I mean, then you got Zach Bennett, 27-year-old. He's better. 65 stuff, 60 movement, 3 potential good pitches, a ground ball pitcher. Put up a 121 ERA plus last season. That's an option. Miles Jansen. Can we get Bennett and Jansen? I mean, that wouldn't be bad because that gives us the depth that we're looking for. Oops, sorry about that. I forgot I had my work email on. I've been working and doing baseball games and kind of everything all at the same time these last couple of days. So Adam Mazur, 55-60, and he's still growing. High work ethic. I like Bennett, but I don't want to pay the money. If we can get Bennett and Jansen and get them to retain. Okay, 34-year-old Anthony Santander, sure. Anything else? Gets us some infield depth. And what if we remove? I just wanted to say, so they only want Isaac Pacheco. All right, that's fine. All right, so we'll pick up Zach Bennett 27-year-old, number 1 overall pick or top first round pick in 2023. Good stuff, good movement, 3 good pitches. He could be a starter if we needed him to be. Pitched well last year. Miles Jansen is just depth, but again, decent stuff, movement and control. 3 decent pitches. Another ground ball pitcher. Just a cup of coffee so far in a couple of seasons with the Twins. So I'm comfortable with that. So we'll make that deal. Fans don't like Isaac Pacheco leaving, but like Zach Bennett coming in. All right, so we pick up that depth that we wanted in the bullpen, which is nice. Where is Jansen? Here? Yeah, he's right there. All right. All right, so we now have $12 million to spend this season, and I'm comfortable putting that into a 1-year, because we have 17,455 for next season. The only contract that I'm truly, Cavalli is somebody I want to bring back. He doesn't want a lot of money, but Abrams is the big one. My only concern with Abrams, obviously, is his health. He's put up 5.1 WAR in what is effectively a full season for us. What does he want long term? He wants 20. I'm not giving him. We're talking short term money here. He probably will laugh at me for this, but yeah. All right, so we're not there with Abrams yet. Hopefully we can. I want to bump this up to 36, I think. With fan interest being an 87 right now, we should be able to generate some additional revenue per game. So, all right, so we're not there with CJ Abrams yet. That's fine. What can we do on a 1-year deal? Pick up the reigning National League reliever of the year in Blake Workman. I don't like the extreme flyballness of him, but Alexis Diaz, Karinchak is a flyball pitcher as well. Devin Williams, flyball pitcher, extremely popular. Kervin Castro, he's intriguing. Jake Clemente, he's only 25. If he's closer to this than he is this, I think we can hold off for now. He'll be there down the road. I don't mind the idea of picking up like Castro or Blake. Workman would cost us every penny we have, and there's not even a guarantee we could sign him. But Kervin Castro seems like he might be a decent pickup on a 1-year deal with a couple of team options kind of thing. On the other side, offensively, what do we need offensively? Anything? Not really. I still, as good as he was last year, I still hope at some point that he's willing to waive that no trade clause, because we got Hassel, Mullinax, and I would love to just stick Crow Armstrong in center field and call it a day. McDaniel can be a backup at the corner infield. He'll also be a backup DH. Errol Vera, he's probably a backup corner infielder. Maybe. He can't really play. And that range is really bad. So a backup infielder, and that's really it. I think we're in pretty good shape here. So, we have Munoz as our closer. He's had 2 great seasons in a row. So I think maybe we take a shot at a reliever to try to improve that bullpen even more. And then go after, he wants 5 years, $10 million. I'm not comfortable with that, but I'll do 3 years with team option, 9. And I'm not above tweaking the AI here to get what I want. Get him on essentially a 1-year deal for $9 million. And then infielders. Wouldn't mind bringing Ahmed back, but it looks like it's probably going to cost too much money. JP Crawford's not. Again, this is going to be strictly a backup middle infielder role. So I want someone who's not expecting to be a starter. And I need someone who can actually play the middle infield positions. I'd love it to be David Fletcher. He wants 6. Can we bring him back for the 3, whatever it is that we have? And if we got to do the team options, we'll do the team options. Just on a 1-year deal, ultimately. All right, well, that's a start. That's a start. Let's sim ahead a couple of days and see what we get out of it. All right, Hall of Fame voting. Take a look at that really quickly. Abreu in his 10th season, he's not going to get in, but I'm going to vote for him. I'll vote for Cano. Cologne. King Felix. Wow, look at how close Hamels and Hernandez's numbers are. It's amazing. Almost identical across the board, but King Felix put up almost 10 more WAR than Hamels. So we're going to vote for Hamels too. I don't think he gets in, but those ratings are very, very close. We're going to vote for Johnny Lester, because of course we are. We'll vote for Yachty. I think that might be it. Jimmy Rollins, no, Verlander gets a vote, absolutely, and Wainwright. All right, so there's our ballot. Let's keep simming. $3.4 million is a lot for Fletcher, but given how well he performed in the role we had him in last year, and given the uncertainty regarding C.J. Abrams' injuries, that could be an issue. Oh, you know what I need to do, though? Shoot. Oh, no. I didn't even think about this. So, oh, crap. So part of the issue is if we sign these guys, the money for extensions is going to go away, and then we're not going to have any money to sign C.J. Abrams. So, I hate to do this because it means they probably won't talk to me again, but I want to make sure we have that money available for Abrams, because that's what's truly important. We need to make sure we bring CJ back. Yerry De Los Santos. Where did he come from? Oh. Wanderson Charles. Ooh. This might be the way to go instead. Wanderson Charles, ground ball pitcher. Yeah, let's do that. There's Camilo Doval. So he wants a 3-year deal as well. Can I get him for 1 year? He wants 3. Okay, so we can give him 1 year at $7 million. And and that retains the money we have for um, Abrams for next season. And infielders, let's look at fielding ratings. Yeah, it's all the people you would expect to be up there, right? Nicky Lopez wants, so maybe Nicky Lopez isn't a bad option. He expects to be a starter, but I think he wants 3 years as well. So what if we gave you 1 year at 6? I can't give you 1 year at 6. 1 year at 5.5. Okay, I'd be all right with that. Wanderson Charles, Nicky Lopez. I think Lopez is well known. Wanderson Charles is well known. So we'll get small fan interest bumps for those. But that gives us our backup middle infielder for a year, solidifies the bullpen for a year, and still retains that money for CJ. Such a slow sim. That's what happens when you run every single game, every single league. So, yeah, 97 and 65 a year ago. I mean, it was a good regular season. We turned it on in the second half. Hopefully, we don't get off to a slow start last year like we did this season, where we were 500 through April. We'd like to just start hot and end hot. You know, a lot of that's going to have to do with injuries. Losing Abrams and Dylan Cruz for the postseason obviously didn't help, but you know, what are you going to do? All right, so oh my God, Christian Gonzalez is on the trade block. Stupid Luis Robert and his stupid contract. I just want to see. Okay, yeah, so it's not happening. I just wanted to see if there was any way we could make it happen. Xander Bogaerts playing for Seattle, still going strong at 36. Oh, my gosh, look at some of these names, guys. This is crazy. Anybody not making a lot of money? We can find someone who's not making anything and get the AI to retain. That would be cool, but yeah. Oof. If he's a free agent next season, we're gonna have to try to figure out a way to generate to pick him up. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I mean, does it say what he wants? No, it doesn't. I mean, it's got to be over $30 million, right? 27-year-old starting pitcher in his prime. All right. Well, I don't think we're going to be making any deals here. Yeah, I mean, we could move on from Royce Lewis at the start of next season, but what do we do at second base at that point? Do we go bridge year until Barkley is ready? And that might be the answer. I mean, the hitting ratings aren't what they once were, but he still put up a 111 OPS, 799, or 111 OPS plus, 799 OPS. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he lives with a sort of an unsustainable BABIP, but since he lives that way, you know, I mean, I don't know. What's UBR? Base running value. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem for next year, though. I don't. We're gonna stick with Royce for this season. No reason not to. No reason not to. We won't be able to trade for those players anyway, so we may as well wait until they get into free agency. The way this game works, with the trading difficulty set where it is, there's no way that I'll be able to trade for those guys. So I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna get up to the Rule 5, and then I will sim ahead to the beginning of the regular season, and then we'll play opening day, and then that will be that. I don't believe there are going to be many more deals that I can make. Oh, they traded him to Seattle. Wow. Okay. I don't know that there are going to be many deals that I can make here the rest of the regular season. We're kind of up against it financially a little bit. Yeah, this is good. It's still the money for extensions is going up. Revenue per game is up. And we can always take money out of here if we need to. I'm just trying to think ahead, right? Just trying to plan ahead for what next off season will hold, because you got to constantly be thinking ahead in this game. Chase Mobley, we will put him on the 40 man. Clemmer, because he's a ground ball pitcher. I want to put. I mean, we can. We got plenty of room on the 40 man. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if someone takes GN Francisco Volpato, you can have him, I guess. I mean, I don't want to put him on the 40 man. It's just not worth it. All right, let's get to the Rule 5. We're picking 29th. Who did we lose? Alcantara. Okay, that's fine. Luis Aguilera. No, I mean, he could play center field. But where we are as a team, we can't afford to have a Rule 5 guy as our starting center fielder. So, offensively, Jay Murdoch is there. Jorge Villegas. We don't really have room for anybody here. That's kind of the biggest issue. Yeah, I mean, there's some decent names on here, but again, nobody that we really have room to I don't have room to put any of these guys on my big league roster. I don't even know if I have room for a pitcher. We'll look at the pitchers, but we could be going without here in the Rule 5 this year, which is fine. I mean, our roster is better, so it makes sense that we're not necessarily taking a shot at anybody in the Rule 5. Just looking for those ground ball pitchers. And no extreme ground ball guys. I think I have them all. Javier Bueno. Yeah. All right. We're going to skip the Rule 5. And I am going to. Oh, we lost Spencer Jones too. All right, that's fine. I am going to sim ahead now, guys, to the beginning of or the end of spring training. If anything comes up, I'll get back to you and let you know then. But I anticipate that this is going to be our team going into next season. So hang tight. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, we're back. I didn't make any moves during or with what was left of the off season. I feel like we're in a pretty okay place. So all we need to do is make a lot of noise with our chair, and let me get rid of some of these half-star guys in the international complex. They may develop, but I want to make sure that there's room there for wow, there's a lot. Want to make sure there's room for, the potential stars that our scout can find. All right. So we are at 35 players, 18 pitchers. We have to send 5 pitchers down to the minors. So it'll be Clemmer, Woodward. to start. Zach Bennett we picked up in the trade. Miller Green. Gotta send 2 more down, huh? Why is Miles Jansen can go down? We gotta send 1 more down. Yeah, I mean all of our pitchers are good, so I don't want to send any. I don't want to send anybody down. Okay, he's out of option years, so he can't go down. Neeby and Shores. I mean, is it Shores? I mean, if that's what he is, he should be in our starting rotation. Let's get a scouting report. We'll get that before opening day, and then we can make a decision. So 31, we have to send well, technically 4 down because we are going to yeah, see, as much as I would love to keep Pete Crow Armstrong, we're getting essentially the same thing out of Mo Hampton for like no money. So Vera can go down. He has to clear waivers. Right? Nobody want him. Let's look at relievers. All right, let's look at all players. Nope. Nick Pratto. No. It's not the same Nick Pratto. All right, let's DFA. All right. So we have 27. We just need to get a scouting report on Chase Shores, and then we can make a decision on what we want to do in terms of getting down to 26. Where are we? We're very high. All right, so 55, 65. Yeah, he belongs on our big league rotation. And I signed Estes, and that may have been a little. I mean, it's only $1 million this year, $2 million next year. I mean, it's not ridiculous. Then that option for 4.5 is nothing. But I think he's the one that goes down to the minors, honestly. And here is our 5-man rotation. It's gonna look something like this: Burns, Baz, Cavalli, Shores, and Neeby. 70, 60. I want Munoz as my closer. I want Veras as setup, high leverage. I want Brule as my other setup. And specialist. I want Figueroa, Hill. They're all ground ball pitchers, right? Bennett's a ground ball pitcher. Kerr's an extreme ground ball pitcher, but his ratings have started to drop. Just get 1 more scouting report on him. Should get it back the next day, I think. Yep. 55, 70, 45. Okay, so we're going to have him. We're going to have Wanderson Charles is used more often. Zach Bennett as middle relief. No, Zach Bennett is long relief. Figueroa as middle relief, used more often. And Ray Kerr as used more often. And then Bennett and Hill will be our long relievers. Hill will be long relief / middle relief, and then Bennett will be long relief / emergency starting pitcher. So this is what our pitching staff looks like. Burns, Baz, Cavalli, Shores, Neeby as our rotation. Munoz, Brule, Veras, Figueroa, Kerr, Charles, Bennett, and Hill. Our lineup. Let's go ahead and clear the lineups. Batting ratings. All right, so we've got Dylan Cruz going to bat 4th. We're going to have Villalobos bat 5th. His ratings aren't quite as good as we would have liked, but really good against righties. So we can bat him 5th against righties and feel pretty confident with that. Abrams going to bat 3rd. Robert will bat. Who was our leadoff hitter last year? Oh, right, it was Jung-Hoo Lee. So Abrams a 374 on base percentage, but a lot of that is driven by the batting average. What about someone like Robert Hassel batting leadoff? And then Robert in the number 2 hole. Something like that. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that, at least against righties. We'll see how that works to kick things off. Drew Romo will bat 7th. Davis Crane will bat 8th, and Royce Lewis will bat 9th. That's a really good lineup, guys. We have a pretty damn good lineup. So Nicky Lopez, we're going to get him enough playing time that hopefully he doesn't complain, and he's going to start at all 3 infield positions, or back up at all 3 infield positions. It's 3 starts a week against 3 starts a week on the infield. McDaniel every 5th game and every 7th game, so he'll start a couple of days a week. Romo, I want to play as much as possible, so Susac will just play as he gets hurt, or as he gets tired. McDaniel can be our backup first baseman. He'll play 3 times a week as well. Armstrong will buck up in center and right, and I think it's probably a good idea to get him out there every 4th or 5th game for Robert. Let's copy that lineup, paste it, and what changes do we want to make? So I think, I don't know that we want to. I think Hassel's ratings, 55 and 45, is not great as a leadoff hitter. I don't want to mess with the lineup, I don't think. Yeah, I don't want to mess with the lineup. We may need a leadoff hitter, truth be told. Let's copy the depth chart. We may need a leadoff hitter down the road. Paste depth chart. There we go. Yeah, we may need a leadoff hitter at some point. I don't know that Hassel's going to work out, but we'll see how it goes. So we went 13 and 10 in spring training. We'll take a look at the preseason predictions, and then we'll play opening day, or let the game play opening day. I'm not going to play opening day. Reached playoffs. It's fine. We do not have a top 10 prospect. Bill Lobos very high. Yeah, I mean, he's not what we were hoping, but still really good against righties. So hopefully, he can hit another 30 home runs or whatever this season. Preseason predictions have us going 89 and 73, finishing 4th in the National League in runs scored, and having, looks like a middle of the pack sub 4 ERA. Dylan Cruz is on there. Corbin Burns, that's it. So we will see how it goes. If we look at the minor league systems, we're 21st. That number's dropping. We're going to have to figure out our minor leagues. We've got Cuevas, who's an international kid. Swain, who was our number 1 pick a year ago, is on there. And Guadalupe, who's another international guy. So the drafting has to get better here over the next couple of years, or we could be in some trouble. So we're taking on the Austin Parrots, the former Miami Marlins, and we will get this thing started. So we got Hassel, Robert, Abrams, Cruz, Villalobos, Mullinax, Romo, Crane, Royce Lewis, Corbin Burns on the mound, 16 and 8 a year ago. They got Fabio Peralta, the reigning Rookie of the Year, Ian Lewis, Jesus Sanchez, Christian Gonzalez, J.J. Bleday, Cade Doty, Camden Hayslip, Ronald Hernandez, Armando Cruz, and Reed Detmers, who was 14 and 7 a year ago. So let's go ahead and see how opening day goes for the Nats. Hassel grounds out to second. It's an interesting angle. It's really top down. Abrams hit by a pitch. At least he didn't get hurt. And Cruz strikes out. A couple of ground balls here against Burns early on. And there's a base hit. So the first hit of the season, it goes to Sanchez. Gonzalez strikes out. Villalobos first at bat. Is that going to have enough juice? No. Fly ball to the warning track. Mullinax now flies out. And Drew Romo draws a 2-out walk. And a strikeout. Lede goes down looking. Another hit for Austin, a 1-out single. Hayslip strikes out. And Hernandez grounds out. Oh, no, E4. E4. Cruz hit by a pitch. Bases are loaded. And there's the end of the inning. That got a little hairy, but we worked around it. Offense struggling here early on against the lefty. There's our first hit of the year. Base hit for Hassel. And Luis Robert goes deep down the left field line, giving us a 2-0 lead. Extra bases for Abrams. So the first 9 men go down, and then we go single, home run, double. And another double. We're up 3-0 as Abrams scores. Cruz slides into second. Villalobos walks. Mullinax grounds into the 5-4-3 twin killing, but we score 3. One away, bottom of the third. Jesus Sanchez now picks up his second hit. He's 2 for 2. He steals second. The 1-2 to Gonzalez is a strikeout. And Blade grounds out to first. So we get through the third. We're up 3-0. Romo, ground ball to third, 1 out. Crane with a base hit to center. Royce Lewis is hit by a pitch. Robert Hassel is hit by a pitch. That's 3 hit by pitches. And Robert is going to clear the bases probably with that extra base hit. I keep talking about wanting to trade him, and he just keeps hitting. So a 3-run double by Robert. He's got 5 RBIs here on opening day. Ground ball to second or short. Cruz with a pop-up to left, but we score 3 more runs, so we're up 6-0 now. Doty leads it off. It's going to be another hit for him. Hayslip grounds to first. And we're not able to turn the 3-6-3. There's another strikeout. And Cruz flies out to center. So we're up 6-0 after 4. Villalobos picks up his first hit as a member of the Nationals, a single to left. Mullinax strikes out. Romo grounds into the 5-4-3. Peralta leads off the 5th with a single to left. 3-2 pitch on the hit and run. So they have runners at the corners to get things started here. Sanchez pops up to right. Is that going to be deep enough? I don't think so. Nope. Caught stealing. That's nice to see. And a strikeout. So Burns works out of the first and third nobody out jam in the 5th. Royce Lewis is out, and Hassel is hit. That's the 4th batter hit by a pitch. And there's diving catch out and left. I thought it was going to be another hit for Robert. Blade, diving catch out and left by our left fielder. Doty, he's got 2 hits already. That one gets over his head. He's 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. Hayslip with a base hit to center, so that should be the first run of the game for Austin. It is. Why you would throw through and let that runner go to second, I have no idea, but Ronald Hernandez pops out to left, and Cruz walks back up to the top of the order. Peralta grounds out 4-3. So we're through 6. We have a 5-run lead. CJ Abrams grounds out to short. Dylan Cruz strikes out. And Villalobos strikes out. So we go to the stretch up 5. There's a strikeout. There's a walk. Throw down to first. Nothing doing. Gonzalez walks. Got a new pitcher out there. Strikeout. And a fly ball to center to end the 7th. So we get 6+ out of Burns. I'll take it. Molinak strikes out. Romo flies out to left. Davis Crane flies out to right center. Bottom of the 8th. Hayslip into the shift. Ronald Hernandez pops out to right. Garrett Hill's been such a solid pickup for us out of the bullpen. And Cruz grounds out to first. So we go to the 9th up 6-1. Royce Lewis bangs one to left center field. I think that's going to be his first home run of the year. It is. Royce Lewis hit 16 last year. That's his first this season. Just strikeout to Hassel. Robert's got 5 RBIs on opening day. He now has 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a home run on opening day for Luis. Abrams strikes out. And Cruz flies out to center. So we go to bottom of the 9th. First pitch to Peralta. It's a base hit to center. And there's another base hit. Justin Brule now lefty on lefty. Fly ball to straightaway center field. Catch made on the track. Runner tags up, goes to third. The 0-2 to Gonzalez is a strikeout. And there's a walk to load the bases. Cade Doty grounds out to short. And we win opening day 7-1. You like to see that. 3 for 5, 5 RBIs for Robert. Cruz had an RBI. Royce Lewis hit a home run. We get 6 1/3 out of Burns, an inning and 2/3 out of Hill, 1 shutout inning out of Brule, and we win. We win on opening day. So that is going to do it for this episode, guys. Kind of a quiet offseason, sort of planning for future years. I picked up a third base bat, and we'll start planning for next year right away. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate everybody's support. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.